What I'm going to do today is etch this glass. This is pretty heavy. I'm going to etch this glass and we're going to do it together. So I'm going to show you what we need. We are going to need Armor Etch, which I'll take that out in a second. And we are also going to color the etch. So we're going to need Speedball. This is Speedball paint. And we're going to need vinyl, just regular vinyl, transfer tape, alcohol, latex gloves, and paintbrush and a weeder. I think that's pretty much it. So the first thing I did was I just, you can't really see it, but I put my design right here, and then we're going to use the weeding tool, but we're going to do it differently. We're going to do it the opposite way because I'll show you. So what I did was I put the design more in the center, and I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and cut a little bit off. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, just weed it. And if you can't see me weeding, that's completely fine because I'm gonna show it to you in a second. Let's see here. Okay. We're going to use a little alcohol first because I always like to clean whatever glass I'm using first with a little bit of alcohol just to make sure it's clean and there's no oils or anything on there. So let's just take a little bit of just plain rubbing alcohol. Any concentrate is fine. And we'll just put some on there. And I'm just going to do the area that we're going to etch. So we're going to put it, let's see. I think it'll look cute, like, I guess like this. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this part. And you just want to make sure it's dry really well. Okay, so then what we're going to do is take transfer tape. So this is what it should look like, because we're going to etch this part that's in here. So, and then the reason I like to leave extra around it is because you have to be really careful with the etch cream. You don't want it to get on your glass in any areas that you don't want to etch. So I think it's just better to make this a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead, take this, and this is transfer tape. And we're gonna take like a scraper and then just carefully just go over here. And okay, so I had to really take my time with this because there's like these little parts in the Y and that kind of stuff that I forgot about. So you just have to be really careful. You want those to stay down. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and apply it to the mug. So let's see. Okay. And you want to make sure it's secure. So I'm going to have to cut a little bit here. All right, just so it can go there, and then let's see. All right, so we're gonna take the scraper again and just go over here. And you wanna make sure there's definitely no air bubbles. You wanna make sure that it is securely against the glass, because you don't want the etch cream to seep into any of the open areas. So just want to make sure it's completely attached. Okay, so we're going to take this off, the transfer tape. Let's go this way a little bit too. Okay. So now we're going to take the scraper again because you can see that there's bubbles in here. And I'm just going to go over here and try to get rid of as many bubbles as I can, which if the bubbles are at the top, like up here, that's not a big deal, but near the verbiage or picture or image, whatever, you don't want to have any bubbles. So you just want to make sure that it is, although can you hear the bubbles? So just make sure. So you can see here, like there's some bubbles. This kind of stuff's okay, but like here it's pretty close to the lettering or the image. So you want to make sure that those bubbles are not there because you don't want the etch cream to seep in there. So anything that's super close to the lettering or anything like that, that's my main focus. I'm just gonna continue doing that. But again, if it's up here, you're not using the etch up there, so it's fine. And we're gonna use a paintbrush and the Armor Etch, and definitely need gloves. Just take Etch and put it on over here, just like this. And you want it to be pretty thick. And let me open this over the sink really quick, hold on. So you also want to be really careful with this and not get it in your eyes or anything like that. So let's go ahead and, so we're just gonna kind of dot this on. And again, you want to make sure that you do not get it anywhere else. Let me see here if, and this is why you want it to cover, you want the vinyl to cover everywhere, like, so it doesn't drip down, if that makes sense. So. And this has an odor to it too, kind of like eggs. So you probably want to be in a vented area if it bothers you. And you do want to have a lot on there. And just patting it carefully. Just a little bit more here. Okay, and you want this to be on no longer than 3 minutes. So let me set the timer. It's been about 2.5 minutes, and what you can do is just take the excess and you can put it back in the container. And then we're going to rinse this really well. We're going to leave the vinyl on, and we're going to rinse it really well with warm water. Okay, and I'll be right back. I'm going to just go ahead and rinse this with warm water, and we'll be right back. Okay, so all I did was rinse it under warm water, just kind of rubbed it off, and dried it with a paper towel. So now we're ready to take this off. So, and I'm leaving, I guess I can take this off so it doesn't stick. But I'm going to want to use the gloves again for this stuff. So I'll just take one off. So let's go ahead and remove the vinyl. This really carefully and All right, so let me dry it and I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm gonna show you what else we're gonna do. So you can either stop here if this is the style that you're looking for, or we can go to the next step, which I'm going to do. That's super cute. I don't know if you can see how cool that looks with all the light. That looks so cool as is. So you can leave it just like this, or we can add a little color to it to make it pop. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some color to it. Okay, so we're gonna put my glove back on. And then again, see how cool that looks? Okay, so anyway, what we're gonna do is just place it on here. And I'm going to use Speedball paint, and I will leave this in the descriptions below. You can use any color. I'm using green for St. Patty's Day. And all we're going to do is put it on here and then rub it in and then rub it off. That's all. And then you keep doing layers and you keep repeating it to make it darker. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a little bit on here. So I'm probably using a pea size, just like that. And we're just gonna rub it in. And you're rubbing it into where you're etching. So we're just gonna keep going around and around in circle motions. And I'm just going over that part where I etched that I want to be colored. Okay, then messy, messy. Then we're gonna go ahead and wipe it off. It is messy, so I should have really gotten a little bit more paper towels. Whoops, so let's see. So we're gonna wipe this off. Okay. So that is this is just one coat, and I'm gonna do several coats, but guess what? We need more paper towels, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna do our next coat, and I'm gonna try to do a little bit less of the paint. I really don't think we needed that much. So we're just gonna go around and around in circles over the etched area. Okay, and then we're going to wipe it off. Okay, so I think this is 2. It looks like it's getting a little bit darker. So we're gonna do it again. Okay. So what do you guys think? Looks pretty cool, huh? So you can use the Speedball paint to add color, or you can just leave it plain. So which one do you like it best? Do you like it with the color, or do you like it plain? Comment below, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.